These measures keep coming and were confirmed this morning by the Ukrainian Parliament, partial mobilization of reservists and also an extra 500 million euros to come out of infrastructure and housing budgets directly to fund the armed forces and the border patrols. And I think that certainly in Kiev there's a great deal of sort of patriotic fervour and a sense of the need to protect the integrity of the country, and that would lead you to imagine that people would support those measures. And while I do think there is broad support for what the Ukrainian government is doing, you've got to remember that this Ukrainian government, brought to power by the Maidan protests, is not exactly the government that the Maidan protests want. A lot of people are still on Maidan now, saying that they're keeping an eye on the government and that the old elites, who are many of whom have come to power again, who are established politicians, aren't people that they necessarily fully trust. And what's interesting is that the government announced that it would create, or actually recreate, because it already existed before some years ago, a volunteer national guard. And people from the self-styled Maidan self-defense forces, who've been patrolling Independence Square and the area around and manning the barricades for weeks, would be integrated into that guard. But earlier today I spoke to two members of those self-defense forces who said, well, we are quite prepared to defend our country, but we're not going to be integrated into any military structure where we're taking orders from this government, because we don't trust them, and particularly we don't trust the defense minister. And they said that while some members of the Maidan self-defense forces were signing up, and I think thousands have been, it was by no means all of them. A lot of them are saying we would rather stay in the formations that we've got at the moment, where we basically give each other our own orders. And so that's something that I think quite a lot of Ukraine watchers might find rather ominous.